Josh, welcome. We've been following each other on social media for a while, and it's exciting watching you for many reasons. One, I feel like you live freely. You travel with your partner a lot. One day in Victoria, then you're in Queensland, then you are God knows where. So you're traveling a lot. I feel like you're living this freedom life, but at the same time, you have also created a business that you're running from anywhere you travel.
Yeah.
You know, typical business 20, 30, 40 years ago, 10 years ago, you got to be in your business, physically involved. But now there's more and more people like yourself creating businesses that they can actually run it from any place where they are, online. And you're really taking full advantage of that. And it's great to see you, to me, purpose of life is living it on your terms and living it freely, not being locked. And traditionally, we lock ourselves in the journey. So we are in our 20s, we might finish school, university, we might start, business, and business could be a shop kilometer, 2 kilometers away from your home, and all your life has to be there. And you really don't get to see anything else besides your home and the business that you create. With yourself, what you have done, you have actually created a business that, my home is wherever the hell I want to go.
Yeah.
How the hell did you manage that?
Yeah.
And who is Josh?
That's awesome. And look, you basically nailed it on the head right from the get-go.
Because I feel like you're living just such a life that almost even I'm jealous of, because you're just so free.
Yeah.
I'm a typical business owner. I do have a lot of different businesses, but I also have an office every day. I leave my home, I get a coffee from McDonald's, and I come to my office, which I'm in today, and you're sitting in it now.
Yeah.
But with yourself, you don't have an office. Your office is, I go anywhere I want to go.
Exactly. Well, I guess most entrepreneurs, when they sort of start, their main goal is to create, wealth and freedom. But I guess most people sort of end up with the wealth, but they've got a job that owns them until maybe one day they build something that's worth a couple $1 million, $100 million, and then they sell it, and then the freedom can kind of come then. That's a very, true grit. Like it's gnarly. Like it's a big process to do that. But I guess from the start, I wanted to go the opposite direction from the start. And we're really about creating freedom, legacy, long term. That's just sort of what I've always been about. And that's just basically what we do and what we live. We can be anywhere. The business model we're aligned with is all about that as well. It makes it possible. And I think these days with social media and, all the stuff that's out there, our opportunity is a 50-year-old opportunity. So it's before the internet. But if you can sort of couple it with the skills and online and really sort that bit out with an amazing opportunity, that's what we're all about. So, but yeah, before that, again, you sort of hit it on the head. I was 9 to 5, used to work for Australia Post back in the day as a postie, the guy on delivering your mail around Madura, our old hometown. That was me.
You all started somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And then I transitioned to a self-employed remedial massage therapist. So I think not knowing then, that's when I sort of thought I made it, was going from, self-employed, working for yourself, and that's the dream, that's the ticket. But not really realizing I was still kind of, if you're familiar with the cash flow quadrant, I was still on that left side, which is where 95% of people are, and my business owned me. So it was good. I loved it. I loved helping people. So I really aligned with, remedial massage. But then I still had all these limitations. Wanted a day off, didn't get paid, couldn't just go away for 6 months. It's, all that sort of stuff. So I think now there's different ways to be a business owner, I guess. And I think it really comes down to the business model you're aligned with. But we're all about creating freedom, and it's awesome.
And to be honest, which is really fascinating what you just said, most business people, most entrepreneurs, they are so focused on creating wealth. And deeper you go into business, you get locked into creating wealth, really zero freedom.
Yeah.
Because business becomes your life. It is my life, but I love it that way. I don't know any better maybe. But the point is, a lot of people forgot to live, forgot to breathe. We're talking about, where you're staying and where you should go. But you have traveled this country up and down, left and right. So, it's so important, which is actually, makes me think now, it's so important to actually, yes, if you are creating a business that's going to give you financial financial freedom, how much does it give you financial freedom when it comes to living,
exactly.
Anywhere you want to live, and with yourself, you just came from the Gold Coast, even the Gold Coast, and where were you 2 weeks ago?
I think we're still around the Gold Coast, but yeah, we literally day by day, we sometimes wing it too much. Like we don't know where we're going tomorrow. Like that's the reality of how we do it. We have a couple of things where, we're doing a show next month in Melbourne, so we've got to be there, but we don't really have many ties at all. But kind of like you said, like some people, it looks different for everyone, I think. Like some people love, like you said, like you are the perfect example. Like you love it. You can genuinely tell that you love the grind. Like it's you, but some people might not. But some people might not. Like we live in an off-road caravan traveling free, and some people might not want that either. Like I guess it looks different.
I think the freedom is whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not many people are happy when they create a business and they're just hustling all their life, and they actually say, you know what, I can't take 2 weeks off. I can't travel anywhere because I'm so locked into my business. That's all I do. And then they become slaves to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I think it's when any young individual is planning 30 years ahead, they really got to map it out. Yeah. How do they want their 30 years to look, and what's going to make them happy on the journey as well? Yeah. You know what I mean? What business are you into?
So we're in high-ticket direct sales. So again, we've got an opportunity. They're a 50-year-old Japanese company that specialises in medical-grade water technology. So that really aligns with us. Come from a health background. So, but like I said, it's more sort of the digital marketing, network marketing. There's got so many different names. We'll sort of take your pick. But yeah, the online skills, like we run ads to reach our niche of people. Sort of got some automation systems that people go through. So really, just sort of coupled the online skills with an amazing opportunity. That's sort of how we market it, by building a personal brand. I think personal branding is everything these days. I feel like it's really taken that shift now as well, because like you really can just be, it's literally just being yourself online. Like,
well, see, the thing is, the business that you are in, that also allows you to work from anywhere you want to. Yeah. But personal branding is so crucially definitely right there, because when you build a personal brand, if you want to start different business, you already have the following. Yeah. Because reality is, I follow you on social media, and whatever business you go in, I would be interested in, and I'm not the only one. Yeah. You got massive following yourself, and people are intrigued, and I think a lot of people are now buying you, and they build that trust between yourself and them. They feel like, okay, they know you. I know if I don't post stuff on social media for 3 days, people are like, what's wrong, Emil? Like they need those of you. You know what I mean?
100%.
So when people build the trust, whatever business you start with your personal brand, they'll follow.
Yeah, I think it's so powerful, because personal branding, like a lot of people sort of say like, oh, like who do I need to be online? It's like you. Like it's kind of like you need to put on. It's like they need to try and be me or try and be you, and that's where I think people get confused of kind of.
That's where they stuff up. Yeah, completely, because you can never be me, and I can never be you, and we can't be these two ladies behind the camera. Yeah, we all have a different personality, and I think there's a market for all of our personalities. And all of us. Now, I think the problem with a lot of young generation, somebody's 18, 19, and 20, they will see yourself and they want to be like you, or they might want to be like me, or somebody they're following. But I think the mistake lies is they're trying to be somebody else, and that might not align with them, might not make them happy. I always suggest to anybody that is young, yes, learn something from yourself, from me, or anybody that you're following that is a good influence on you, but you take that, implement it into your own personality, into your own vision, and then you can be really strong. Yeah. Because if I'm trying to be, actually, me trying to be you, I would probably love it, because I love traveling. So that can probably work. But just saying that, I think people are searching wrong things to make themselves happy, instead of, okay, let me sit down and who am I? Yeah. You know what I mean? Who am I? What makes me happy? Yeah. And how can I steal the knowledge from all of these amazing people that I'm following to actually make myself better in my own field?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the best thing about it, is because so many people are doing so many different things these days. But I feel like people can really fall into that comparison trap of like, this person's doing this, or someone say like, oh, these people say this isn't right, you got to do this. And it's kind of like, oh, nothing works. But it's like, well, all that's really showing to me is like, you can pick 100 people and like ask what they're doing, how they got there, all this sort of stuff, and they're all going to say different things. So I think the best way is like, especially these days, there's so much free value out there. Like, or you can pay $50, $100 a month to be in mentorships of people that have, you know, and like there's so much of information out there, but you can take little bits and pieces of like what this person said, what this person said, and align with what you want to do and where you're going. Like that's where we've had our biggest jump the last few years is just like, you know, I could sit, you know, I could watch an interview like this, or I could, you know, be on a mentorship call. It could be like one or two little golden nuggets with our say. So I'm like, that's it. Like, that's what I need to do in my business.
One thing that I had a conversation with somebody the other day, I said, us telling somebody something can change their life or can change the direction of their life. Because I know myself, there's something that I learned, could be something that somebody said or I heard something. I was like, oh, you know what? That can work better. And then my life is going this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think we can all make an impact on somebody else's life. What, you know, the way I see it, what is the point of me living if I'm not going to pass my knowledge to somebody? Because think about this. How old are you now?
32.
32. You spent 32 years learning, making mistakes, getting better, challenging yourself. You know, there's so much that has gone into that head.
Yeah.
And that can be passed to somebody else that they can actually learn and make their life better as well. And I think, you know, I personally get satisfaction of sharing my knowledge constantly with people. Because if I can have a better impact on somebody's life, you know, I feel like wealthy in myself in my own head. And gives me better satisfaction. Looking back on what you have learned, running your business online, and online it is competitive.
It is,
because I feel like everybody wants to be in e-commerce and everybody wants to import something and be wealthy overnight. What would you say are the biggest challenges?
Some of the biggest challenges for us was kind of back at the start of our journey. We were sort of, and when we because we sold our house, we just wanted to get out of Madrid where we were and just go all in on our business and travel. So there was a lot of sort of like, it was pretty much like a like this needs to work kind of scenario, which I think that was probably the best thing ever. But there was a lot of sort of like, you know, it's just me and Mikhail in the caravan. Like that's it. It's just us. So there was a lot of kind of like who needs to focus on what. I was kind of really trying to drag Mikhail to do like more business stuff because I was under pressure, which was a mistake that I made looking back now. Like it was affecting, you know, our relationship and just sort of bits and pieces. So, because it's a kind of a lonely journey. But I think the best thing was just like being accountable for everything that has sort of led me up to there and just taking full accountability and responsibility for everything. And especially even where you are now, you really got to own, like, you know, everything. Your life looks the way it does now because, like, it's all the little things and choices you made, decisions compounded over again. For me, 30 years, that's why my life looked like the way it does today and how it was then. Like, it's no one else. Like, you need to take full responsibility and accountability for that. And once you really own that, you can sort of make the changes to move forward from there.
What you just said is so crucial because when things are not working for anybody, most of us or most people are blaming everything else around them, but saying, you know what, I stuffed up. You know, somebody maybe screwed me in business, but I allowed them to do so. Maybe I wasn't capable enough to stop it. So I think keeping ourselves accountable and learning and keep moving forward, that's what really, you know, the life is all about as well. Where do you think the e-commerce is going future-wise?
E-commerce?
Yeah.
I'm not personally in e-commerce. We're sort of direct sales. It's kind of different, but
direct sale is really linked.
It is. Yeah, in different ways. Again, depending on the sort of business models, etc. But I think, you know, again, it depends on sort of what sort of products you're selling, etc. But the whole. I mean, I think COVID was the best thing for all of that because it's the online side of things of waking people up to that, and that was our biggest thing. That was our kind of line in the sand moment for sort of going back to our business because like I got stuck at a really bad time. We had like $6,000 to our name. Like we just built our car, and that's when like, you know, the TV told me that I was in the list that I couldn't open my business tomorrow. And this is sort of how off topic how we sort of got started. And I was sitting there. Mikhail still got to go to work, but that was I was sitting there the next morning in her pink dressing gown on the thing. I was literally filling out Centrelink paperwork. So I'm like, we've got 4 weeks and we're screwed. Like we're screwed, and I didn't know what was going to happen. But that was my line in the sand moment. Was like, this is never going to happen again. Like, I will not let this happen again. This is before we even had a business.
But don't you think that was probably, when you look back now, probably the best thing that happened to you?
Oh, 1,000,000%.
I think when people hit a brick wall or something happens, they were like, oh my God, this is so bad. But in a way, what you did, I was like, this is so bad, but it's so good because it makes you be creative. You're like, okay, got to think.
And for most people, it expires. That bit expires. It's kind of like, this is bad. And this is what really affected my massage business is being around people. They couldn't go to Adelaide because the borders were shut. And then
Yes.
6 months later, it's like, oh, you been to Adelaide yet? It's like, oh, nah, there was something else. I'm like, you forgot that we were locked in our houses, couldn't do nothing, and then just forget about it. Yes. But for us, that's just like in my head. And what I've realized, I had no choices and I had no freedom. Like, that's what I realized. I'm like, well, that's what I need to work towards, is focus on be able to create choices. And that's what we've been working on for 3-4 years since. And that's sort of why our life looks the way it does now. But yeah, to go back on the e-commerce, just online digital marketing, personal branding, like I think the next 10 years is going to be ridiculous.
Well, I think the life is changing completely. I mean, right now, you can be in your home, order anything online. They come to you. You can buy shoes, you can buy your hat, you can get calls delivered to your house, you can have dinner, breakfast, lunch, everything. You can even get alcohol delivered to your home. I mean, how crazy is that? Yeah. So the game is completely changing. Do you think, because I feel like what you're doing business-wise allows you to travel and do business from anywhere around the world, which is really not working from the office. 10 years ago, there's no way you could do that.
No.
Do you think it's going to be more of that in the future? Because I feel like right now, even with my own staff, a lot of them, when I work from home 2 days a week, or completely. Do you think that's going to continue happening? Or do you think businesses and employees will go back to the office?
Yeah, 100%. I think it comes down to your own choices, but I think the way that it's going to go, I think it's definitely going to go that way. But what you need to understand is what I find is like the barrier there is like the system doesn't really want you to do that. Like when you really think about it, the system, they don't want...
And also us as a business owners, we are kind of old school trained. Yeah. I buy an office, you have to come here, I have to see you work, all the team is here. Yeah. But everybody has access to everything on the Zoom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
People can spend 2 hours less a day traveling to get to work.
Yeah. But I mean, if everyone was entrepreneurs and had hundreds of millions of dollars and their mind was free and everything was good and had freedom, then like the system doesn't want that. I think that's, it might sound a bit crazy, but when you sort of really realize that, because there can be like a hesitation, it's always going to try and draw you back because again, 95% of the people are doing their employees. So like there's always going to drag you back to that path of least resistance, which is go to work, you get paid, you get that instant gratification, get your paycheck, where entrepreneur, like you might not see that for 1, 2, 3 years of, I think that's the biggest piece. And when I see people that start and give up, it's just because they just didn't hang in there enough to see the results. And that's what makes it difficult. Because,
what would you say somebody who's 20, who is mapping their own life?
Love it. Yeah.
What advice would you give them? Because there's one thing for sure. You were 20 yesterday. Yeah. You're 32 today.
Yeah.
So 12 years has gone past. There's one thing for sure. Clock doesn't stop ticking. No. When you're 20, you don't give a shit about the time, because you think you're going to live forever. There's so much in front of you.
Yeah.
But the next thing is you're 32 or 44. And you're going to be 44 tomorrow and I'll be freaking 56.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that clock doesn't stop. So looking back, 20 years old, he's mapping his life. What advice would you give them?
I love when we get 20-year-olds that come through. I'm on a Zoom call. It's like, man, like I'm so happy with them. Like you have, like if you can just have focus for 10 years, like it's a long time, but but 30, like can you imagine all the things you've achieved yourself in 10 years? And I'm only 4 years nearly into mine, so I'm like, imagine what you could do from 20 to 30. Like that needs to be your goal. But again, like just there's so much stuff available. But I think in those 20s, male, female is different, but like there's so many distractions. Like so many distractions.
And social media doesn't help either.
Oh, no.
I think internet in general is so good.
Yeah.
And it's so bad.
Yeah.
If you can be wrapped into being distracted. But it's so good because any information you want to find is there.
Yeah.
How did people learn 30 years ago? From going to school, newspaper, or TV, or asking a mate, how do you do this? Right now, how do I make spaghetti?
Yeah.
Google, type on YouTube, you got a recipe, you can watch somebody making it.
Yeah.
Before, it would be like knocking on your neighbor's door and saying, hey, do you mind if I get the recipe for you? Everything is there.
Yeah.
Every piece of information, you can literally Google it. And information rocks up there. But saying that, I think people beat themselves up by looking at somebody else's life too.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Because you could be 25 years old and hustling and trying hard and barely making a living, and then there's another 25 years old that's posting a photo of the Lamborghini.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he has made it, you know, and people, it can work opposite too.
Yeah, I think the main piece these days is just getting focused, and like might sound easier than what it says, like get focused, but like
everything.
Yeah, but these days, like I think they're making that switch from being a creator than a consumer, because most people say it's like, oh, I don't have enough time to, you know, to do something, be an entrepreneur, learn business, but like people spend an average, it's like 4 hours now, like on their phone each day. And I think the biggest thing is like people's attention spans now, it's like 4 seconds. So like that's your competition.
You know, back in the day, you can watch 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Right now, the new generation will watch 2,000 reels or stories or whatever on social media. You know, the reels are just click. And you know what? Even when somebody's watching a reel, including myself, if it's not interesting within first 2 seconds, I'm on to the next one.
Yeah.
So the attention span, I think everything that's surrounding us is shrinking our attention span to milliseconds.
Oh, definitely. That's why I say if it's just you and your goal and that's all you focus on, limited distractions between that, like you're gonna make it. But yeah, I think that's the main piece. But also, again, like I said, that comparison trap of seeing people, like, I think the biggest thing for myself is people need to like get rid of that time frame and like focus. It's more of like who you become, because I guess what I've found is like money's just an amplifier. Like this is why you sort of see people that, you know, do win lotto, or they had a quick crypto win, or, you know, people were doing it. People were getting rich quick back in 2020 when, you know, things happened. But then I think people sort of think that was the normal thing to happen. It's like, oh, I'll invest in crypto, I'll start a business, I'll be rich in 2 months. But like, it's happened before, but it's not the normal. And I think when you look at the traditional system, like it's actually normal to go 3 to 5 years to learn a skill and not make any money at all. Like, I'm not saying that it takes that long, but it's more that the person who you become in between, like you need to, if you just gave a broke person $1 million tomorrow, like there's going to be an amplified bad mindset, bit of an idiot, like there's just going to be that amplified times a million. So
to be a good runner, you got to train.
Yeah.
You know, you don't compete in Olympics overnight. You know, and the experience that you got by training yourself and gaining the life, I guess, experience. You know, makes you more prepared.
But it's a tough transition. What I see people struggle with most is that there's a transition period that needs to happen from where you're at right now to the person you need to become, like personal development, mindset, skill set, everything.
You just have to be open-minded. You know, a lot of people ask me, Emil, who is your mentor? And I said, everyone.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? You can't have 1,000 mentors? Exactly, I can. But my biggest mentor is myself, opening my mind that I want to learn. I want to learn from you, from this conversation. Both of us want to learn from somebody we meet on the street tomorrow. So we are very blessed that, you know, we have access to so many amazing people that we can learn from. But you are correct. The key is staying focused, because it's so easy to get distracted. And then you're out of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
What's next for you?
I think for us, like we're sort of that 4 or 5 years into our business now. So like, I just feel like that, like everything's just like in a pressure cooker right now. Like I feel like it's just going to explode. Like that next sort of, I always say it takes 3 to 5 years to build anything, like to a really good level. So I really feel like we're at that stage. We're working on a lot of sort of more automations and stuff to help people like that come inside of our business and just sort of automate things a little bit more. But for us, it's just continue traveling. Like we're really focusing on ourselves these days, just becoming a better person, really. Like that's the biggest piece. I think even from day one, if you focus on feeling good now, what I've sort of found over the years is like, I'm chasing feelings. Like I feel like I'm chasing feelings. Like, you know, I'm really helping out my mum now. She's been going through a lot of, you know, tough times and that. So I think that experience is like yes, it's the money. Like you need the money, but I think it's more the experiences you can trade in that money for, if that makes sense. Like those sort of just putting her in nice hotels and dinners and be able to really, you know, like I did the phone call the other day where I've sort of, you know, at the end of this year she's sort of going to be out of her work, etc. And she's going back to 3 days. So like making that phone call, like man, like it's everything. It's everything.
I think we all need to find out what success is to us. I think people miss understand what success is.
Yeah.
People see success is having money, having nice cars. It is nice. You got one of my favorite cars that you're driving. It is amazing to drive it. But if you don't have that inner peace and happiness, that car means nothing to you.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you won't even know what you're driving because you'll be miserable.
Yeah.
So I think, success, chasing what's next, I love your answer. And to me is, I'm just chasing to continue being happy every day.
Yeah.
And doing what I love, what makes me happy. That's what really success is end of the day as well.
Yeah. And you need to really ask yourself that question of what it truly looks like and feels good for you. Because again, you'll see someone that might look at someone like we got, someone that's like, why would you spend that much money on a car? I'm sure you probably got it as well, but it's like, and other people say it's like, oh, don't waste your money on cars. But it's like, for me, like, I love cars. I'm not going through my life not owning the car that I want to drive every single day. But that's me. Some other people might not give a shit, and that's good.
That's the thing, success is whatever makes you happy and continue making happy. I got a lot of cars, and a lot of people want to see it as a waste of money.
Yeah.
What do you get out of them? But I enjoy it. That's what counts. Is what makes you happy. Because you don't want to do what I do, but you want to do what makes you happy. And chase that. When you're chasing your own dream, even if it's in a business, when you're so passionate about something, then you can actually easily go through hard times. Because running any business, you will hit a wall. Easiest thing is to give up and walk away. But if you're not passionate as an individual in that field, it's so easy to be out of the game. And just to give up, and then what?
Yeah, you've got to enjoy the process. Like, you've got to enjoy to love
I think
it.
people forget that.
Yeah.
People thinking, I'm going to start a business. I can't wait till I'm successful and have financial freedom. But what they don't realize, it might take them 10 years, 5 or 25 to actually get there. What? You're going to be miserable for 5 years? Or 20?
No.
That hustle and grind and being in that pressure cooker, what you talked about before, that is the fun part.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it's so crucial to focus on where you are at present and what you're going through, and enjoy that process, because before you know, the game could be over.
Yeah, and all of our big record months that we've had has always been after a low. Like, things have sort of gone quiet, or it's been a bit of a low, but that's when we got focused the most and put in the most work. And again, it might take 1 or 2 months, but I've been over those waves for 5 to 8 times now, and every single time there's a massive high on the other side of it. But most people won't get through that, or again, that will stress the hell out of them, and they wreck themselves. But again, you got to enjoy it. It's hard. The first time it's the hardest, but it's just what you got to expect. I think if you really sit down and expect these things, you're going to have all these things come up that are going to happen. So it's not like you're surprised when it happens. It's like, I knew this was coming. Here it is. You deal with it. Like an entrepreneur, you're a professional problem solver. That's literally what we are.
Well, you got no choice.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
As an entrepreneur, you kind of have to. I look forward to seeing you next 10 years. Yeah. Where to travel-wise next?
We're going to Japan in June overseas. That's where our company we're partnered with is over there. So it's their 50th anniversary. So we're going over there. So I'm really excited for that. But man, we live full time on an off-road caravan, a Lotus caravan. It's luxury on wheels. We love it.
I actually love it. I've been studying caravans as well. I think they actually follow me on social media.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be really up there.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're amazing friends and partners of ours as well, because we travel. So that's kind of like our niche of people that follow us. But I'm just so addicted to that flexibility. Like I said, we're parked out an hour away from here in the bush. We can just come in here. If you want to be in the city, we can be here. If you want to be at the beach, we can park at the beach. If you want to be
anywhere
in a gravel pit with nothing around, we can be there.
Australia is such an amazing country to actually travel and see.
There's so
people, even myself in the past, my traveling would be Sydney, Melbourne, Gold Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's so many places in between you can visit and say, oh, wow, we're actually living in an unbelievable country.
We are. And people take it for granted, but we're just want to just keep exploring this amazing country. And I guess just again, like I said, working on ourselves and just really being that example, because I really think that everyone has a best version of themselves. We're nothing special. Everyone has that version that will get up early, that will, go to the gym and get in shape. But and I just think it's just so, I can't compare myself to someone that would they would go through the whole life without even meeting that person. You have that version there, and like I said, it's with the social media. I guess the only negative side of it is it is a very negative sort of world now as well. But again, like you sort of put yourself in that box if you want to. Like there's always an equal and opposite force to everything, and we're really about, again, like I said, creating the best version of people, the positivity, like just being a good person. Where like on the opposite side of that, there is people that are just negative. They'll drag people down. Their brands are about bagging out people that are doing well, but they're just creating a personal brand full of negative people. And then, you know, it's just, so you really got to be sort of careful of, I guess, what sort of box you put yourself in.
Our mind is our best friend and our biggest enemy.
Yeah.
You know, nobody else can beat you than your own mind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes to social media, you know, I think your mind needs to tell you whatever is good for me, I'm going to let it in.
Yeah.
Anything or anybody that is bad for me, there's a thing called block.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
People out of your life in general.
Yeah.
Keep making better life for yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to freaking watching your journey. I mean, it's exciting. And hopefully one day I'll join you in a freaking traveling journey, at least for a week from somewhere to somewhere.
Yeah. No, I look forward to it. Again, it's been such an awesome to be here, I guess, because it's a pretty cool story of how it happened, because how we went to the event, the Jordan Belfort event that One Life Club put on last year. And I've sort of really been big about, like, my mentors about, like, pay to play, which basically, like, you know, paying for access. Like for me 3 years ago, like I wouldn't have went VIP. I would have went the cheapest, nastiest way to get there, which is completely fine. You're going to learn the skills, but I think it's kind of cool of, pay to play and the power of one. Like that's sort of how we've ended up here. It's like I had dinner with yourself and Jordan Belfort, which was a amazing experience for myself. But going to the event, you're just around, like we met so many amazing people at that event. It's kind of like a respect thing. If you sort of pay to be there, the best seat possible, it's kind of like an instant respect, nod to the head to other people that are around you. You've paid the extra money, you're there.
And you know what? There's so many amazing people out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we always, you know, I think sometimes you'll focus on, you know, people that are maybe not as good for us, on them. But there are good people in this world. Yeah. You know, and the key is finding them and surrounding yourself, you know, with the right people that can make your life better.
All the negativity and stuff, all the limiting beliefs go out the window when you're around a room, with people that are all on the same path. Like it all completely eliminates.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, man. It's been awesome.
Thank you. I love this one.